You've been lied to about vulnerability, not by bad people, by good people with terrible advice. The message is everywhere. Open up, share your truth, be authentic at all costs. And millions of people followed that advice. They shared their struggles at work. They opened up to colleagues. They posted their pain online. And you know what happened? Their vulnerability was weaponized against them. Today, I'm going to show you the one lie about vulnerability that cost people their careers, their relationships, and their peace of mind, and the brutal truth that nobody wants to admit. Here's the lie. Vulnerability is always good. Vulnerability builds connection. Vulnerability is courage. That's half true, which makes it fully dangerous. Because vulnerability without strategy is just exposure. Let me tell you about Amir, Pakistani entrepreneur. Built a logistics company from nothing. 7 years of grinding. He went to a business conference in Dubai, a breakthrough moment, networking with real investors. Someone asked about his journey. He decided to be vulnerable. He shared his mental health struggles, the panic attacks, the imposter syndrome, the near bankruptcy moment. He thought he was building trust. 3 weeks later, those same investors ghosted him. His vulnerability became a red flag, a risk signal, a reason to walk away. Because here's what the vulnerability gospel doesn't tell you. Context matters. Timing matters. Audience matters. A 2019 study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found something disturbing. Premature disclosure in professional settings decreased trust by 43%. Not increased. Decreased, because vulnerability isn't just about courage. It's about calculation. The people who win, they practice what I call armored vulnerability. Armored vulnerability is selective sharing. It's not hiding. It's not lying. It's strategic authenticity. Think of it like this. A fortress has gates, strong walls, controlled entry points. That's not weakness. That's intelligence. Armored vulnerability has 3 principles. Principle 1, earned access. You don't share deep truths with people who haven't earned the right to hear them. Sharing your struggles with a stranger at a networking event, that's not courage. That's confusion. Sharing with a mentor who's invested 3 years in you, that's strategic. The difference? One builds equity, the other burns it. Principle 2, contextual wisdom. Professional spaces need professional vulnerability. Personal spaces need personal vulnerability. Telling your team you're struggling with a project deadline, vulnerable and useful. Telling your team about your childhood trauma, vulnerable and damaging, not because trauma doesn't matter, because context matters more. Principle 3, protective timing. Share from scars, not from open wounds. When you're still bleeding, your vulnerability becomes a liability. When you've healed and learned, your vulnerability becomes authority. Amir learned this the hard way. After Dubai, he rebuilt his approach. Same honesty, different strategy. Now he shares his struggles only after he solved them. Only with people who've proven their value, only in contexts where it serves a purpose. His company just closed a $4 million funding round from investors who respect his resilience, not his rawness. Let me show you the 3 traps that destroy people who practice blanket vulnerability. Trap 1, performative pain. This is vulnerability as content. Vulnerability as brand. Vulnerability as currency. You see it everywhere. LinkedIn breakdowns, Instagram therapy threads, Twitter trauma threads. The problem? When pain becomes performance, healing becomes impossible. You're no longer processing. You're producing. The more you perform your pain, the more you're defined by it. Your vulnerability becomes your identity. Identities are prisons. Trap 2, premature disclosure. This is sharing before the relationship can handle the weight. First date, don't share your deepest trauma. First week at work, don't share your mental health history. First conversation with an investor, don't share your self-doubt. Relationships need foundations before they need depth. Load-bearing structures come first. Decoration comes later. Trap 3, validation addiction. This is the deadliest one. When you share and people respond with support, that feels incredible. Dopamine spike, connection high. You feel seen, so you do it again and again and again. You start needing the validation more than you need the healing. Your vulnerability becomes performative. Your healing becomes secondary. You're no longer sharing to process, you're sharing to receive. That's not vulnerability, that's dependency. So what's the answer? Practice armored vulnerability. Share strategically. Share selectively. Share with purpose. Ask 3 questions before you share anything deep. Has this person earned access to this information? Is this the right context for this conversation? Am I sharing from a scar or from an open wound? If you can't answer yes to all 3, don't share. That's not hiding, that's wisdom, because vulnerability without boundaries isn't courage. It's self-destruction wrapped in inspirational quotes. Real strength isn't opening up to everyone. Real strength is knowing exactly who deserves your truth and protecting it until they've earned it. If this changed how you think about vulnerability, hit subscribe.